The donuts kicked in, all right? All right, I'm going to spell a word, and I want you to repeat it. It's very simple. Let me just finish. M-A-C-T-R-U-C-K. Mac. Truck. M-A-C-L-E-A-N. McLean. You guys are pretty good. M-A-C-D-O-N-A-L-D-S. Wow, you guys are good. M-A-C-I-N-T-O-S-H. Macintosh. M-A-C-H-I-N-E. You guys had to think about it. You had to think about it. But I've done this experiment before, and some little kid did it to me, and I was just really impressed with this, because my first impression was, McHine. McHine. And he started laughing, like, McHine? Hein? McHine. It is McHine. Is it McHine? Because he already programmed me to believe that it has to be a Mac something. It's Mac something. I'm already told. He told me what to think. He said, everything I'm going to tell you starts with Mac. Everything I tell you starts with Mac. Everything I tell you starts with Mac. And then when I was wrong, I know I'm wrong. McHine doesn't sound right, but I'm trying to convince myself that it has to be right. Mac has to be McKinney? And I was convincing myself that I was wrong. Still trying to prove that I was wrong. And I know I'm wrong. I'm still trying to find the correct. Doesn't make sense. My point is this. We are all been programmed. We have all been programmed pretty badly. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I like that I can turn on the TV and they just tear my religion to shreds. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because there's that little kid, it reminds me of a little kid who grows up in this community, and there's this home at the end of the street that everybody talks about is haunted, and there's a weird old person that lives there, and nobody wants to go visit, and there's this crazy person living. And this little kid walks up to the door, and he gets invited in. He has cookies and milk, and he leaves with this, wow, it's not what everybody thinks at all. Everybody's been lying to me. Everybody's been lying to me. Why is everybody lying to me? He was a good person. Had cookies and milk, and it was nice, and it was friendly. And that's why Islam is growing at such a rapid pace. After 9/11, the month after, in October, there was an article in the New York Times where it indicated Muslims were converting by the thousands. People were converting to Islam by the thousands. Islam was not in a very good position after 9/11. And the number one reason of why people were converting to Islam is we didn't know about all these things. After 9/11, books were flying off the shelves. We were speaking, we didn't have enough speakers to go to all the places that needed us to speak. Hospitals, churches, synagogues, schools, libraries, whatever they needed us, we were trying to speak. We couldn't keep up. People were reading for themselves. The internet's available. But there's also the second source. There's also other sources. People are pulling out books written by people who hate the faith. Of course, if you're going to read one set of notes, then I also ask you to read the other set of notes too. Get both perspectives before you make your judgment. And that takes me to the story that we started with first, the story of David, King David. 2 sheep. He had 2 sheep. Remember the 2 guys? One guy had 1 sheep, one guy had 99 sheep. King David did a big mistake because he did what wrong? Anybody? Thank you, sir. Exactly right. The Quran doesn't give us doesn't answer that question, but that's exactly the correct answer. When 2 people presented to David, one person had 1 sheep and the other had 99, and the man with 1 sheep said, "Tell this man to leave my 99 sheep alone," and David said, "Leave this man's sheep alone." He didn't hear the story. Maybe the man with 1 sheep stole it from this guy. Maybe this guy actually had 100 and I took it. But I convinced you because you only heard my side of the story. And every side, there's always more sides than one. If you were a judge in a courtroom only listening to one side of a divorce case, you're in trouble. There's always more than one side. Get the sides, get the facts, and I'm telling you, you will be surprised, pleasantly. Thank you all for coming this morning, and we'll take questions and answers, and thank you.
We're going to take about 15 to 20 minutes with the questions. I ask that you speak into the microphone so you can be heard if you recorded your questions. If you think about your questions, if you talk about one thing, talk about the institutions in the Dayton community that support the Islamic community. You represent the Greater Dayton Islamic Society, and maybe the mosques that are here and the educational institutions that you support. It's kind of an overview of that, if you would.
Educational committees that we support.
Yeah. There's a school in Beaver Creek, right?
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Okay. The main Islamic institution here in Dayton, there are several mosques. I mean, anyway, in the whole greater Dayton area, there's several mosques. The Arabic word for mosque is masjid. If you've been to Cincinnati, if you've driven down 75, you'll see on the right side the big Islamic center there. In downtown, Josie Street, there's one downtown right near the Oregon district. There is a mosque that just opened in Miamisburg. The Islamic school in Beaver Creek. I'm not sure the grades that are in the school. I think it goes up to 8th or 9th grade. You can correct me if they know more. And those are the main Muslim.
Broad Street downtown.
There's another mosque there.
Yeah,
so
African American Muslims.
Okay, so there are several in the area.
Virginia.